the meeting of the Burlington Conservation Commission to order. The date is September 10th, 2020. First, I'll read the opening notice. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A and Section 20, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Town of Burlington's Conservation Commission is being conducted through remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or to view this meeting can go to the BCAT Government Cable Access Channel, the BCAT Government Meetings Facebook Live feed, or you can join the meeting over the phone. The number is 408-418-9388. This information there is also a meeting number ID, and it's 179-949-1362. Okay, the information is being shared on the screen now. To join the Webex live video conference, which is what we're on, you can click on the link on the Conservation Commission's meeting page or on the Town of Burlington town calendar. Or go to webex.com, join a meeting, and use that meeting number that I gave before, and there's a password on the meeting agenda. So you go to burlington.org, go to the town calendar, and then click on Conservation Commission for tonight, and all that information will come up. New public hearings open tonight will not be closed so as to allow comments from those who are unable to access or are uncomfortable with this technology. Comments and concerns regarding public hearings should be emailed to conservation@burlington.org before the next meeting on September 24th. Before I do anything else, I should note that we have a few things that are not being heard tonight. So if you are either tuned in or you are online, the request for certificate of compliance, item number 4, 328 to 330 Cambridge Street, Iconic Capital LLC, DEP file number 122-622, has been continued until September 24th. Items 9, 10, and 11, which are 4 and 5 Redmond Street for single-family dwellings, and the Redmond Street roadway. There's 3 notice of intents that I'm referring to, items 9, 10, and 11. These have been continued by the applicant until September 24th. The next thing I'll do is call the roll call, and the roll call has to be done on all decisions by voice roll call with everyone saying aye or yes. So let's do that now. Don Bernstein.
Here.
Gail Lima.
Here.
Ingrid Dim. He's absent. He said he was going to be absent. Bill Boyven.
Here.
Jennifer O'Riordan.
Here.
Ed LaTurca.
Here.
Kent Moffett.
Here.
Okay, so we're okay on that. I should note that our Conservation Administrator, John Keeley, is present, and our Assistant Administrator, Eileen Coleman, is also present, helping us with this meeting. I will ask applicants to introduce yourselves. So when it comes your turn, you try to keep your square here mute until it's time to introduce yourselves, and then please state your name and where you live. And you can, all votes will be by roll call, and the meeting is being recorded. All right, so with that, after all the preliminaries are done, the second item on the agenda is citizens' time. Is there anyone here who has tuned in or is on the phone who would like to say anything that's not on the agenda? All right, the record should show that there is no one for citizens' time. Next is the approval of minutes, August 13th, 2020. Do you folks feel we are in a position to approve those minutes?
Yes.
All right, any discussion? It was like reading a book. How many pages? 15 pages or something like that? Okay, so could I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 13th, 2020?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second, Gail.
All right, we'll have a roll call. Dawn, how do you vote?
Approve.
Gail,
Yes, approve.
Bill,
Approved.
Jennifer,
I'm on. Abstain.
okay, Ed?
Approved.
Okay, that carries 501. It is approved.
Mr.
I
Chairman,
should
may I
note
make,
that-
may I make a comment about the minutes?
Please do.
I would just like to congratulate Dawn. I think she does a terrific job on these minutes. They're very comprehensive, very thorough, and she does a good job. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
I second that. Dawn, that was an outstanding set of minutes. It read like a book, but you didn't miss a trick. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is the request was, number 4 was postponed. Okay, so let's go to that. And, okay. All right, so we're on item number 5. Notice is given that the Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will hold a Webex virtual public meeting, and during which time we have an application, a request for determination filed by Tricia Enos and Mark Terode, and this will be acted upon by the commission. The commission is taking information related to the proposed installation of an in-ground pool within a 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands. It's located at 3 Sierra Way in Burlington, and we will thereafter issue a determination. The application is being heard pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, which is the Wetlands Protection Act, and Burlington Bylaw, Article 14. And information on this application may be obtained by emailing conservation@burlington.org. All right, is someone for the applicant here? I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so please introduce yourselves, and the way this works is you folks just simply, after you introduce yourselves, you just say as much as you would like. You can have a short summary if you'd like, whatever you'd like to say about what you do.
Okay, I'm Tricia Enos.
I'm Mike Terode. Basically, what we're looking to do is to install an in-ground pool. So that's why we're here.
All right, that was brief.
And hello, everybody.
Okay. All right, well, it's nice to see you. All right, so John, do you have, or Eileen, do you have some comments on this one?
Sure, I do. So the commission did a site visit yesterday, and there were definitely some questions as a result. One thing, the plan shows the pool would be about 60 feet from the wetlands. It looks like it'd probably be more like half of that distance. Part of the problem, I think, is the pool isn't drawn to scale. But the wetlands appear to be, if you scale off the wetlands on that plan, that plan is like a photocopy of the actual site plan from when the house was built, and the distance of the house, not the deck, but the actual main structure of the house to the wetlands is between 40 and 45 feet. So there's no way clearly that the pool is going to be 60 feet. It's going to be, well, I mean, if the distance is 45 feet and the pool is 12 and it's 5 off the house, so it's under 30 probably. So, and we're also wondering about the existing fence. Is the fence and the stairs, so the stairs coming off the deck that appear to be right where the pool is proposed to be. So we had questions and there was nobody home to really answer. So I guess we need some answers.
Yep, no problem. So the stairs, where the stairs end, the pool would probably be about 5 feet from the stairs, from where it starts. And also the actual fence, there was a fence there. However, it was a old wrought iron fence, and it was quite dilapidated. So I had to obviously put that other fence up in replacement of that.
Okay, so the question is, so so that fence is staying there? You're not moving it for the pool construction?
No, sir.
Okay.
That would remain.
Okay. So I mean, I think that the commissioners would probably need to grant a waiver of the 40-foot no build, but as long as that solid fence is staying there, the pool's going within a lawn area. So I guess that's not really a problem. I mean, it's close to the wetlands, but there's a fence to protect it. So
Okay, so let's see if any of the commissioners either have comments or questions. Dawn, do you have any comments or questions?
No, no questions.
All right, how about Gail?
Yes, so just a couple. Why are we getting so much echo, John? First,
it's just you.
it's just me? All right, well,
Yeah,
okay,
when
I'm
you're
just gonna make it,
muted, Gail,
because I got an
you
echo
an
when
echo.
Larry was talking also.
Well,
Okay, so I'll just make this quick because it's really hard for me to talk and listen to myself reverberating. And I'm going to mute them. So 2 questions. There's a slope there. Are you going to be changing the grade at all? And secondly, do you have any plans for a patio behind it around the pool? And I'm going to mute.
So a patio around the pool, it would just be the 5 feet from the bottom of the the deck stairs. And I think what we're planning on doing is maybe doing like a 2-foot little patio around each side of the pool to do the surrounding, just so we could get around the pool and clean it as we go.
And we're not changing the grade.
Yeah, in the grade, no grade change.
okay, Gail, anything else? No, okay. All right, so Bill,
No, those are pretty much my questions, and I think is regarding a waiver of the 40-foot no build. If the fence is going to remain, then I think the wetlands would continue to enjoy the protection they've already been provided. So there would be no impact to that. So I would be okay with that. That's all I have.
all right, Jennifer,
I don't have anything further to add now.
all right, Ed,
That.
okay, Kent,
Nothing for me. All the questions have been answered.
okay, so the only question I had is, when you put in the pool, there's going to be, you intend to simply slope the ground down naturally, you don't intend to put in a wall or anything, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, so if is there anyone in the audience for this? This is, that is tuned in that would like to make a comment, 3 Sierra Way. Okay, the record should show no. All right, so I guess we have a negative conditional determination to review. Eileen, is that what you have?
To be honest, I thought there was going to be more questions tonight, so I didn't share it to my Google Drive, but John can find it in the G Drive. Do you want to do that, John? Can you?
Was it distributed?
No.
Oh,
If you could just read out the salient points.
okay. I can just read it out loud, Larry. It's very standard.
We're
Okay,
not able to close tonight, are we? Because this is just open tonight?
Well, this is not a hearing. It's just an RDA.
That's only for hearings. Okay.
Right, yeah, yeah. Okay, so the findings are that it's a 12 by 12 pool in the rear of the 3 Sierra Way with a patio on 2 sides between the pool and the house and the pool and the existing deck. Work is located within the 100-foot buffer zone to border and vegetated wetlands. The proposed work is approximately, I'm going to guess, 30 feet from the wetland. And for the purpose, let's see, okay, and then the decision conditions, the decisions for work outlined in the project description. No other work has been reviewed or approved as being approved under this decision. Condition 2 is regarding erosion control. Sediment barrier shall be installed and inspected by conservation staff. Sediment barrier shall be installed across the lot at the limit of work. Straw wattles, staked compost filter socks, or hay bales shall be used. And they must stay until permanent stabilization has been inspected by the Conservation Department. Number 3, all construction demolition materials and excavated soil shall be disposed off-site in a legal manner. No excavated soil shall be placed beyond the erosion control boundary. Number 4, there shall be no stockpiling of soil or other materials within 50 feet of wetlands. Number 5, no tracking of sediments onto public roadways shall be allowed. In the event tracking does occur, sediments shall be swept from the roadway daily. Number 6, there shall be no filling or significant grading of the property under this decision. All existing drainage patterns shall be maintained. The project shall not increase the rate or volume of runoff, nor shall cause flood or storm damage to abutters or the property of others. Number 7, debris, sediment, lawn clippings, and landscape materials shall not be dumped in vegetated wetlands. Any trash or debris that falls into wetlands shall be removed immediately by hand. Number 8 is a prohibition, the standard prohibition on pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides within 100 feet of wetlands unless approved by the Conservation Commission. Number 9 is a standard condition giving the commission or its designated representatives right to enter upon and inspect the premises to evaluate compliance with these conditions and to require additional erosion controls as necessary. And condition 10, any non-compliance with these conditions shall be deemed a violation of the Wetlands Protection Act and the Burlington Bylaw. And the following actions may be taken, including fines and penalties. That's it.
any comments from?
Do we need to add something about the waiver?
Okay, so yeah, I'll put in a finding about yes.
All right. Any other comments?
Were you guys going to submit an updated map as well, or a plan? I think John had mentioned that.
I don't think it's really necessary. I mean, we know the size of it. It's just, it's not drawn to scale, but the dimensions are written on there, so that's fine.
Okay, anything else? John or Eileen, I have a question. If they're digging out the pool, they're gonna have a hole that's whatever depth they're digging it to, and it's gonna be 20 feet by 12 feet, if those dimensions are accurate. That's gonna be quite a bit of soil. Do we need, it has to be taken away. I don't think unless, I guess what I'm asking is, do you plan to spread that around the yard and perhaps change grades on that lower end? Or do you intend to have it removed and put on a truck?
It's going to be trucked out.
It's going to be trucked out. Okay, so are you, okay, I guess the method doesn't really matter. So I assume that they'll bring in some equipment and a truck, back it into the back of the property and take care of it that way. This is what you're thinking.
Yes.
Okay. It would be a lot neater if they just take the stuff they scoop out and put it right on the truck.
That
You
would
might
be
want
world. I would hope so.
you might want to suggest that to them. Otherwise, they'll make a big mess that you don't need.
Right. Will do.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I think we're all set. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to, could I have a motion from the commission to grant a waiver of the 40-foot no building zone that we have in our regulations for the purposes of allowing the construction of the pool because it is on a grass, already lawned area, and a permanent fence has been installed at the edge of the grass.
So moved. This is Ed.
Second.
Second, Don.
All right. Okay, so if there's no discussion, Dawn, how do you vote on the waiver?
Yes.
Gail,
Yes.
Approve.
Jennifer,
Approve.
Ed.
Approved.
Okay, the chair agrees, approves. The vote is 6-0-0. Okay, now on the negative conditional determination, could I have a motion to issue a negative conditional determination on the project located at 3 Sierra Way under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 Protection Act?
So moved, Bill.
Okay, second.
Second, Ed.
And no, any discussion? All right, Dawn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Ed?
Approved.
Chair votes yes. It carries 6-0-0. All right, folks. Good luck with your pool. I hope you enjoy it next year. Okay, you're muted, but I think,
Thank you very much. We appreciate everyone's time.
all right, thanks a lot. Good luck with the project.
As well.
Okay. All right, so. Next on the agenda is item number 6. Okay, notice is given, the Conservation Commission will hold a virtual public hearing on September 10th, 2020. And the purpose of the public hearing, information related to a notice of intent filed by Michael and Colleen McLean for the construction of a residential addition at 6 Maud Circle in Burlington. The proposed work would be within the riverfront area and the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands pursuant to the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14. The commission will review the information relative to the application and may issue an order of conditions for a wetlands permit. This application may be viewed on the conservation webpage, and further information is obtained by emailing conservation@burlington.org. All right, so some folks here for that one.
I am.
All right, so please, you're welcome to introduce yourselves.
Oh,
Sorry, can I interrupt for a second? This is Gail.
Yes.
Previous applicants, just, you should let them know, they're happy to stay for the meeting if they like, but they can actually just, out if they want also. Okay. You have nothing else to do.
I actually just texted her that.
Okay. And if you can't sleep, all you have to do is retune in and it can kind of probably put you to sleep. Okay. Anyways, so please proceed. Michael, Colleen, could you proceed with your introductions and introduce yourselves?
Yes, good evening. My name is Michael McLean,
I'm Colleen McLean.
and we live at 6 Maud Circle.
Sure. And you're welcome to say whatever you would like by way of summary to get us started.
Okay, in essence, what we're looking to do is a 2-floor addition to the right side of the home, which would include bumping back the kitchen a little bit, an additional family room with a 1-car garage above with a master bedroom and bath.
Okay, very good. All right, Eileen or John, to give us some
I
particulars.
think
relative to the
Mary Trudeau's representing them. I think she probably wants to describe it. Mary, would you like me to share the plan while you do that?
Oh, yes, please. That would be wonderful.
Sorry to overlook you.
I can't believe it, Larry. I'm so hurt. Okay. Thank you, Eileen. For those of you who have been out to the property, the existing 6 Maudgrave lot has a small Cape-style home with a footprint of about 814 square feet, and it has an existing paved driveway. The lot has several interesting wetland constraints on it. The lot itself is bisected by a ditch which has a vegetated wetland plant community growing up on either bank, and that's what we've shown as the flagged area, running right through the middle of the site. Yeah, Eileen has the pointer there. This ditch appears to run from south to north, discharging overland flows to the Sandy Brook. The Sandy Brook, as you are well aware, and I have been made aware, is a perennial waterway located about 100 feet from the northeast corner of the existing house. What that does is put the entire addition into the 100 to 200 foot riverfront area, which is, of course, jurisdictional to your commission. The application also includes a FEMA map, which shows that there are bordering lands subject to flooding resource areas associated with the Sandy Brook on this lot, but none of the work nor the existing house are within the 100-year floodplain. For the purposes of our discussion tonight, I think that we could just assume that the northeast corner or the northwest corner of the house is the 100-foot riverfront area line, and the remainder of the work area is within the 200-foot jurisdictional buffer zone. The performance standard for the riverfront area is that you can alter 10% of your total riverfront area or 5,000 square feet, whichever is greater. We don't approach either threshold. That the total alteration that we're proposing within the riverfront area is 840 square feet, which is the footprint of the new addition. However, because the addition has been situated both partially on the existing driveway and also within the footprint of an existing sunroom and step, as well as some concrete walkways, the total net increase in impervious surface on this site is 404 square feet. So we're proposing an 840 square foot addition, but because there is existing impervious surfaces within the footprint where we're working, the increase is actually slightly over 400 square feet of impervious surface. The addition contains a driveway and a garage, so that the applicant is going to maintain their existing driveway and actually cut back a portion of it. We'll be removing about 150 square feet of driveway, which will be on the far side of the addition after it's complete, so that only driveway areas to the front of the new addition will remain in place. I believe there's a binder coat on the driveway right now, and it will be improved to a finish coat of paving once the addition has been completed. And with that, I would ask for questions. Awfully quiet.
It is quiet. Usually Larry asks me or John to say something, so I will just add that.
I did ask you, but I was muted, so you can hear.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that I really don't have very much to add to Mary's very comprehensive description. There's riverfront area. There's definitely a flood zone, I believe 500-year flood zone on the site. John took a look at that earlier as well, and he determined that elevation of the flood zone is between 127 and 128 feet. And we do see some they look like spot areas showing those elevations. But I was wondering if you have taken any down here, Mary, where the actual addition is going to go.
I do not know. We would have to ask our surveyor whether, two questions. One, whether he had done any spot elevations, but also whether the datums matched. That the FEMA datum may not be the same datum that he used for this. So we would have to ask both those questions. But it was our opinion that the work proposed was not within the floodplain.
For me,
I would
only to
ask-
add that it's also within the buffer zone to BVW and also to the 100-foot bank to that the intermittent channel that runs through the site. That's about what I have to say at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I question, Eileen, are you, do we, and to John, do we need spot elevations, or are we comfortable enough on the edge of the floodplain and we're okay if we can't get them without them getting it?
So I can make out some elevations in the front, but because this plan is just so light, there may be contour lines there that we can't see. So that's a question for the surveyor. If you could just, if there are lines on there, if you could just darken up that layer a little bit, because there are some elevations in the front of the lot.
Says 128 down here and 128 over here.
Yeah.
We just seem to be kind of missing
So that
something
could be a
around there.
128 line that we just can't really make out.
Right.
Because the FEMA maps, the scale of the FEMA maps isn't really that great. If you look at the FEMA map, they're on the edge of the 500-year floodplain and being completely out into Zone X.
Mm-hmm.
But the 100-year floodplain isn't very far away. It's on the next lot. So it's, the scale of those maps isn't the greatest. So it'd be nice to know that they're certainly above the 127. And it appears they are, but you don't pay flood insurance, do you? You're muted. Yeah.
No, we do not.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a safe bet, but if the surveyor has that information without having to go out and do additional survey work, if it's just turning up the lines on the plan, that'd be helpful.
I agree.
Okay, thank you. Don, any further comment?
No comment.
Gail, further comment?
So no, well, most of this is either on existing lawn or pavement. John, because of the riverfront, would this require a alternative?
So with the original packet that you got, there wasn't an alternatives analysis, but we got additional information that was sent out to you, I think last week or earlier this week, maybe, I'm not sure, but it was in there. You're muted, Gail.
Thanks. And also some demonstration of improvements because it's on the front.
I can address that. It's difficult for us to make improvements to the more sensitive portions of the riverfront area, which would be the 0 to 100-foot riverfront area, because we don't have control or ownership over most of it. We have control and ownership over the 100 to 200-foot zone. I don't think that the applicant would be adverse to adding some additional plantings along what I've shown as the limit of the bordering vegetated wetlands, which is the vegetation that is the fringe of the ditch. We could certainly put a row of shrubs along there. It's not particularly meaningful in terms of riverfront area. It does add density to the 0 to 25-foot buffer zone, which is another interest that you protect.
So I just have a question. So for the owners, and maybe Mary, across the ditch, there are some nice plantings that somebody's put in, some arborvitae, I think a blue spruce. Was that yours?
Yes, that was me.
Yes. So those are nice. So maybe one of the things that could be done, because there are some other nice plantings. There's a couple of invasives in front of the ditch. There's a bearberry and a couple of unionymous. Maybe those can be removed and replaced with native shrubs.
Sure.
That's the thing to do.
Definitely.
Okay. We'll move on to Bill. If Gail is done, we'll go to Bill. Bill?
Yes. What are we doing? Rooftop and driveway runoff.
We are in the existing condition, the gutters drain to the existing lawn and it traverses the lawn area as street flow between the building and the ditch which then leads to the Sandy Brook. We have not proposed a formalized treatment system for this property. If the commission would like to see something, I think the scale that we would be interested in doing would be either a stone line trench at the drip line of the new addition or, putting in stone outfalls at the gutter leaders that were a 400 square foot increase in impervious surface, which is not particularly significant. And we do have an expansive stabilized lawn behind the house, which the water flows over before it gets to the ditch.
Okay, I'm fine with it, just so sheet flow and everything else. But the driveway is not being changed, because the driveway looks like it pitches to the street, but it's not being repaved or anything.
It's being reduced in size a little bit because a portion of the driveway that's there now, which is shown as the light pink lines leading up to the side of the building, a portion of that driveway will be behind the addition, so that little chunk will come out. That's 150 square feet. And the remainder of the driveway will get a finished coat of pavement on top of it. Right now, it's just the binder and the base coat.
Okay, does it pitch to the street?
Michael?
Pitch to the street.
Okay.
Any of that?
We're getting a lot of feedback from
All right, I'm done with my questions. I was just wondering if we could capture any of the runoff from the driveway.
No, we are not.
Okay, thank you.
Larry, you're muted.
I'm back. Okay. I thought it was my computer causing the static, so I muted. Jennifer.
I don't have any further questions.
Okay. Ed, anything?
No, nothing further.
All right. Kent, anything further?
Nope, not this time.
I'm all set. Is there anyone in the audience? This is a public hearing for 6 Maud Graham Circle. All right, the record should show there's no one in the audience for this. Okay, so what I heard is that the Mary, you'll check with the surveyor to see if there's any spot grades. And we talked about potentially some plantings along the back line there. Is there anything else that anything else anyone remembers? All right, so I guess we'll be in a position to close the hearing and issue the permit at the next meeting, September 24th.
Can I ask a question of John?
Sure, go right ahead.
Oh, John, I looked at the DEP website tonight to see about file numbers, and there was no file number issued yet for this project, but it doesn't look like they've issued any file numbers for Burlington since June. Is that true?
This is the only one we're waiting on.
Okay.
We don't have any other hearings that we're waiting for file numbers for.
Yeah. Okay, so you just have low filings.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll see you folks on September 24th.
Larry, you should do a roll call to continue.
Okay. Could I have a motion to continue this hearing until September 24th?
So moved, Gail.
Second. All right, Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 600. Okay, we're set for the next meeting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, have a good evening, folks.
Too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Frank.
Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is a continued public hearing. This was a notice of intent, Chandler Road, proposed Mill Pond Lane. I guess that's the name of it. GTH, the proponent is GTH Homes LLC. It's to construct a 4-lot subdivision. DEP file number 122-648. Is someone present?
Yes, sir. Steve Dresser, Dresser Williamson Way, representing GTH Homes.
And Greg Hickox from GTH Homes is also here.
Richard,
Okay, well, you folks, thank you for introducing yourselves. You folks go.
I'm just going to put my share on.
Sure.
Are we on? My share on?
It's coming up.
Okay. This is a continued public hearing for a 4-lot subdivision. Lots. We have talked about this. We gave an overview 2 weeks ago. The proponents, Mr. Hickox and Mr. Richard, are actually going to live in lots 3 and lot 2 and build 1 house for sale. The drainage consists of a catch basin in the within the paved area here. That at this time it goes down to a storm scepter and then into an infiltration system. Storm scepter was a recommendation by the engineering department after the Board of Health had approved the isolator row. So it's our intent to go back in and remove the isolator row. The storm scepter itself removes 92% of suspended solids. So we would meet the criteria for the well-drained soils and the infiltration system of removing 40% prior to the infiltration system. So that is our intent, is to go in there. I believe you've added a condition that allow to do that. Either way, it meets the full standards of the Mass Stormwater Management. At the last meeting, there were a few comments. There was a trail over here, which now is going to be moved over to Lot 4 and be instructed through the Conservation Department. We were asked to kind of highlight the pavement. Some of the things were a little bit harder to pick up, pavement being one of them. This is a road right off of Chandler. We're on the easterly side there, and driveways to the home. These driveways and the houses go into stone, which go into also individual infiltration systems. The post and rail fence was altered a little bit. We had this kind of going all the way up here. It's not really necessary so far outside, so it comes from here. Mr. Richard, who's going to live here, would like to do a vinyl fence, so we changed that along his lot 2, and we had inadvertently kind of left off a post and rail fence and added to this plan to protect after the infiltration system. One other thing, we were asked to provide the area that was disturbed inside the 120-foot no clear to the vernal pool. We were asking for a waiver to that regulation, and the area is 976 square feet. Putting this together, it was never really asked what the encroachment on between the 140 and the 120 was, but being as 167 square feet there, just kind of for the record. So we added that to the plan. That's it. We have reviewed the draft conditions. We don't have any issue with them, and we'll be gladly answer any questions you might still have.
Okay, thank you. John or Eileen, do you have any comments on the waiver and other aspects of the project?
Okay, so there was some confusion at the last meeting about the waiver issue. So the bylaw, the Burlington Wetland bylaw, has a 40-foot no build and 20-foot no disturb for any resource area under the Burlington bylaw. So the vernal pool is considered a resource area. And the vernal pool's boundary is 100 feet up gradient of the high water. So you go to the 100 feet of the high water, and then you have a 100-foot buffer zone beyond that. The first 20 of which is the no disturb, the first 40 of which is the no build. So what they're looking for is a waiver to build within the 20 feet, or to disturb within the 20-foot boundary of the outer boundary of the vernal pool. So my recommendation is to grant it. I mean, they're putting fences along there, and they're obviously being very protective of the vernal pool by giving the conservation, the town for conservation purposes lot 4. So once again, the disturbance will be 120 feet from the high water of the vernal pool.
Okay. Does any commissioners have any questions on that aspect of the waiver request?
Nope.
Okay. John or Eileen, are there any further comments on the changes to the plan or anything else?
No, so the storm scepter is fine. They want to remove. They obviously don't need both the storm scepter and the isolator row. They only need 44% TSS removal. The catch basin gets 25. The storm scepter is going to get another. It's not 90. It's probably more like 50, 60 or 70. So the plan that you're approving tonight shows both. So we'll have a condition in there in the draft decision saying that they can remove the isolator row, even though it's depicted on the plan.
All right. Okay. Let's see if the commissioners have any further questions. All right. So, Dawn, anything more on this one?
Not at this time, nope.
Okay. Gail?
No, I'm all set.
Indra? Oh, Indra's not here. I'm sorry. Bill?
No further comments.
All right. Jennifer?
No further comments.
Ed?
No comment.
Ed?
No
Okay,
comment.
perfect.
I'm fine.
Kent?
No comment.
No further comments.
All right. John, could you clarify, are we the ones going to be cutting the trail, the connection to the Mill Pond Conservation Area? Is that what's over there?
Yes. So we have a land management person, part-time person for till late fall. So he's already begun working in that area. I think he's actually going to hang ribbons tomorrow. He's actually scouted out how to connect it to the trail in the conservation area.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's entering the conservation area several hundred feet away from where the old trail was. So we're
Right.
not only going to have to cut a trail on this new lot 4, but also cut a trail on the conservation land to connect. But he's already been out there scouting it out, and he's going to start hanging some ribbons and starting to work on it within the next week.
All right. And are you, John and Eileen, asking anything more in connection with the trail from the applicant?
In connection with the trail, no.
Because I was thinking, is it helpful for them to provide any signage, or we as a department would take care of that, John? Any signage or wayfaring signs or anything like that? Is that
Yeah, I
something?
mean, we would take care of it. I mean, I think if we put a sign there, it'll be something, fairly small, and we're certainly sensitive to the neighbors, not wanting people to come and park on their streets to enter here. There's other places where you can enter this conservation area where there's a lot more parking, like down on Town Line Road or at the water treatment plant, or even on Hanson down off McKechnie. Yeah, we may put a small sign there, but we're certainly not going to, make it like a major trailhead where people are driving to and parking.
Okay, so we're not asking anything further from the applicant
No.
on this. Okay, that's
No.
fine. All right. I have nothing Nothing further. All right, so are Eileen or John, you want to review the findings and the decision? The permit?
I think John will, but can I just ask Stephen to stop sharing so I can share the decisions, please?
Yep. And I do that how?
You just click stop sharing. All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm sorry. Is there a chance for the abutters to speak here at all?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot that. Yes, please introduce yourselves and start speaking.
Thanks. Hi. So this is Bruce Catter and Margaret Montour, and we're the abutters at 30 Chandler, immediately to the east. And mostly just saying thank you to everybody. John, for how quickly you've acted to deal with getting this path done. I really appreciative, and to Greg and Stephen for everything they've done to be cooperative with this. Stephen, just a real quick question, because I know you put this plan today in order to show where the pavement was going to be, and because it was done so quickly, it's still showing the proposed path being right next to our property. I'm guessing this is just because it would have been an oversight or on your part, or just more work than you had time to do to get that out of there. But hearing what John said tonight, it was a concern when we looked at it. It's not a concern now. We just wanted to note that it was sitting there on the plan that's there, but clearly something else is already in the works.
So I think what you thought was the plan, I thought was the path as well, but I think that's the row of arborvitaes, is it not, Steve?
It says proposed trail.
Just to the left of the arborvitae.
On the revised.
Hi, this is Greg Hickok. Steve's having a hard time speaking, but I can answer that. Bruce, the trail is being moved, and that is a row of arborvitaes, a tree-lined street going down the road that still exists on the plan. I think Steve is having some technical difficulties,
No worries.
No worry. Initially it was a question, but after what Mr. Keeley said about everything that's underway, we're fine. We just really want to thank you to everybody and point out what we saw on the plan.
Very good.
Okay. Sorry for the oversight, sir, not calling for abutters. That was an oversight. Any other abutters to the hearing? All right, no. All right, so I guess we're at a point to review the findings and the proposed permit.
Okay, so as Mr. Dresser indicated, they have received a copy of this and reviewed it, and they don't have any issues. So I'll skip over the stuff that's fairly common, and the findings are the project description, the paved cul-de-sac within the 100-foot buffer zone to border vegetated wetlands and the buffer zone to a vernal pool under the bylaw. Discussion of the filing history. Then there's a plan reference section, which will need to be updated to reflect the plans dated today. Wetland values and areas subject to protection. So there's a discussion of the resource areas, including the locally regulated vernal pool. Stormwater management. There's a discussion of how it's under the Mass Wetlands Protection Act. It's exempt from the stormwater regulations as a subdivision under 5 lots, but under the Burlington bylaws, it's regulated. And there's a discussion how it meets all the standards. Other findings, the commission granted a waiver of the 40-foot building setback and 20-foot no disturb to the vernal pool on lot 2 of the subdivision, finding that the proposal is very protective of the vernal pool because of the donation to the town of 68,000 square feet, 68,000 and change square feet that contains the pool.
No, I don't think so.
Hello? Did somebody? Okay. And that's basically it for the findings. The bylaw decision includes a performance guarantee of $5,000 under condition 2 of the bylaw decision. And then if there's no questions, I'll go to the order of conditions under the Wetlands Protection Act. Okay, once again, the first page of that is it's all administrative conditions, including the plan references. Pre-construction conditions start with number 29. They're all standard pre-construction conditions. The erosion control conditions start with 31. They're fairly standard once again. So there's a requirement for a construction entrance, sweeping, protection of catch basins on the street, on the existing street. Pollution control conditions, starting with 41, are all standard conditions, including prohibitions on sodium chloride, pesticides, fungicides, and all that. Inspection conditions, 52. So 52, we require weekly inspection reports from a civil engineer or wetland scientist. And 53 is a condition requiring or stipulating the failure to submit those inspection reports could mean the loss of the bond. 54 is the beginning of the conditions for the stormwater structures. So 54 requires that the PE of record witness and certify the installation of all the drainage infrastructure. So that would also include the storm scepter as well as the infiltrator. 54 is a prohibition, or actually having the area roped off where the infiltrator will be to prevent compaction of the soil by vehicles driving over it. 56 is the condition saying that the isolator row may be removed as long as the storm scepter is installed. 57 is a requirement for an updated O&M plan. So the O&M plan that we have obviously doesn't have the storm scepter, and it does have the isolator row. So we need that certified or updated, I mean. Condition 59 is a new condition that we're putting in on decisions now, requiring that the O&M plan be recorded at the Registry of Deeds. We're doing that from now on for any subdivision or commercial projects so that it's easily accessible by future owners. Miscellaneous conditions include a prohibition on invasive plantings. Condition 61, existing yard waste on lot 4 shall be removed. The conservation staff shall be notified when clearing is to occur to inspect the process. A no dumping sign shall be erected on the Chandler Road side of lot 4 prior to the donation of the lot. So there's been problems with the neighbors, people in the neighborhood dumping their yard waste there. So we want that stuff cleaned up and a fence put up before we take control of that property. 62 is a requirement of fencing along the boundaries as shown on the approved plan. Says post and rail fence or other approved fence, boulder wall, or demarcation shall be erected basically on lots 1, 2, and 3 where they're shown on the approved plan. That demarcation shall be maintained in perpetuity, noticed on the certificate of compliance. And the areas behind shall be left in in natural state in perpetuity. And 64, signs shall be installed on metal posts in each lot along the rear section of the demarcation fence, indicating that it's a protected land. And then 65 is the conditions, how to get the certificate of compliance, the procedure, and what needs to be submitted for a certificate of compliance.
Okay, any comments from any of the commissioners? Any edits or additions or deletions?
I will add this. This has been approved already by the planning board.
Okay. All right. If there is nothing further from anyone, I'd entertain a motion to close the hearing on DEP file number 122-648.
So move. Ed.
Second?
Second, Gail.
All right. Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Abstain?
Okay, Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. The vote is 5-0 to 1. That carries. The hearing is closed. Could I have a motion to grant a waiver of the 40-foot no build setback? Before I say this, John, do we need a waiver of, are they going into the 20-foot no disturb on the, after the 100 feet?
Yes.
Oh,
So you
how
need
much
both
is it?
waivers. You need both waivers.
Okay, that's what I was asking. How much are they going into that 20-foot?
What Steve said, what was it, 900 square feet, Steve? Is he still here?
Yes. Steve seems to be having trouble. I think it was 960 square feet, John.
All right. So, okay. So could I have a motion to grant a waiver to the 40-foot no building setback to the vernal pool on lot 2 of the subdivision because the vernal pool is protected by the generous donation to the town of 68,826 square feet that contains the pool?
So moved, done.
Okay, second. All right. Dawn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Al, how do you vote?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes, it sounds like a good deal to me.
Jennifer?
Abstain.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. The vote is 5-0-1. Could I have a motion to grant another waiver for the 20-foot no disturb setback to the vernal pool on lot 2 of the subdivision, finding that the proposal is protective of the vernal pool, again, because of the donation to the town of Burlington of 68,826 square foot lot pool?
So moved, Ed.
Second, Bill.
All right. Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Abstain.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that's 5-0-1. Could I have a motion to adopt the findings under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 or DEP file number 122-648?
So moved, Bill.
Second. I guess there was a second, right?
Yes, there was.
Somebody.
Okay. Somebody seconded it. Okay, could I have a motion? Okay, so could I have, Dawn, how do you vote on the findings?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Jennifer?
Abstain.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 5-0-1. Again, could I have a motion to adopt order of permit conditions for Burlington bylaw, for DEP file number 122-648 under Burlington bylaw Article 14 and the State Wetlands Protection Act?
So moved, Ed.
Second.
Second, Gail.
Dawn?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Abstain.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 5-0-1. Could I have a motion to require the posting of performance surety in the amount of $5,000 under Burlington bylaw Article 14 for the project at DEP file number 122-648?
So moved, Bill.
Second.
Second, Ed.
Any discussion, questions on this by anyone? Okay, Dawn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Abstain.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 5-0-1. Gentlemen, good luck with your project.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank
You
you all.
folks have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is a continued public hearing, erosion and sedimentation control permit, 3 Lido Ave. Grace Castelluccio is looking to construct a new single-family house with filling and grading. Grace, are you online here?
I am. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Thank you for your patience. Nice to see you.
Thank you. I'd like to apologize for not attending the meeting last time. I did have my uncle pass away a couple of days before the meeting, and it just totally slipped my mind, so I do apologize.
Completely understandable. Sorry for your loss.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Would you or anyone representing you, Grace, like to say a few words at all? You're welcome to do that, or you don't have to. But
I don't know what I can say. I know that everything was submitted to Eileen, so I'm hoping that everything that was submitted answers all questions. The gentleman that has done the paperwork for us is not able to attend the meeting, so I'm hoping that whatever the paperwork Eileen has answered all questions.
Okay, well, let's see what folks have to say, and then we'll just determine what to do from there.
Okay.
John and Eileen, would you like to give us a summary of where we left off as you can remember regarding what's been submitted?
I will, and I will share the newest plan if I can just do that. So Grace and her engineer shared a new plan with us a couple of days ago, which I did forward on to everybody. Let me make this bigger. You had asked last meeting for them to come up with a much more robust engineering design for the stormwater, and I think that is what they have done. So if I understood it correctly, all the stormwater runoff from this driveway and the front part of the house will be directed into a 500-gallon concrete dry well. The runoff from this substantial driveway back here is going through the trench drain, the stone trench, into another 500-gallon dry well. And the runoff from the back of the house, and it is a substantially sized house, is going to be directed into this 4-foot wide trench drain. I'm not sure if I've forgotten something or if I got something wrong there. Sorry, 4-foot gravel trench, stone trench. So I think that this is going to pretty efficiently deal with the stormwater runoff on the site, which is what you were concerned with. Does anybody want a summary of just how we came to this, or I mean, we'll get to it if we're okay with approving the permit. I summarized it in there.
All right, Eileen, I think you've summarized what we're doing now with the changes, so that's probably what was needed.
Okay.
So let's first go to the commissioners and see if they have any questions or comments. Dawn, do you have anything?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Bill?
I appreciated the calculations. The calculations clearly showing that there is a net reduction in the runoff from post-development. So that satisfied me for some of the questions that I had. And I learned, looking at the drawing, a new thing. I learned what a pop-up emitter is. I had to look that up, and when I went to NDS to look it up, they had a lovely video showing what it is, how it's installed, and how it works. So I learned something. That's all I have.
Right. Okay, Bill, questions?
No, I'm all set.
All right. Jennifer, anything on this one?
No more questions.
Ed, anything?
Good.
Okay, Kent?
Nothing this time.
Okay. So John, tell me if this is correct, or Eileen. The the revised stormwater plan is relying on the right side of the building to be going to a dry well, and then the left side going into a dry well, and the backyard area is flowing into that trench and back. Is that pretty much summarize that, your understanding?
I actually think the back of the house is going into the stone trench as well. If
All right, well, here is my question, and I don't know if we can answer this or you think it's okay.
Okay.
John and do we know that they have a row of arborvitaes or evergreen type things in back, and in front of that, they have the trench. Will that trench sufficiently infiltrate water from both the back of the roof and the yard, or does it need to have a pipe and feeding into something at the end of the trench? In other words, it's right on the sort of like the precipice of dropping off to the neighbor's property. So is the water break down, or is it going to, under a high rainstorm, all break out and make sort of a mess for the
well,
owner?
I hear what you're saying. I think John can chime in too. I think it's okay. It's a 4 foot wide. It's not the same little gully that we saw out there. It's 4 feet wide. This gravel trench.
Shown in the plan?
Yeah. So I think so. So I think that'll hold quite a bit. And each of the 2 dry wells are 500 gallons. So, sorry, can you see my screen? It says 4 feet wide stone trench back here. And the 500 gallon dry well here and the 500 gallon dry well there. I think that they, they provided a drainage report, which shows, as Bill said, reduced reduced numbers on the, what was it, 20, oh my God, 24-hour, 2 and 10-year storms. So lower numbers from post-development compared to pre-development. And maybe John has something to add, but I think it's substantial.
Right. So the only area that's going to that stone trench in the back is the rear roof area. So, yeah, I think it's fine.
Do we need whoever did this plan to specify the depth of the stone, because it's the voids between the stone that holds the water? Do you think we need that, John, or you think we're okay? Just let it be unspecified.
What do you mean, the size of the stone?
No, I think it means the depth.
No, the depth of the trench filled with stone.
So there isn't a detail of that?
Let me see. Hang on, there probably is if we just look over one side or the other. Oh, here we go. There's the stone swale, 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep for the stones, and then an additional foot around that.
Yes, okay, I see it. All right.
I think that should be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. All right, I have nothing further. We did get a communication from the neighbor, and was it your understanding? I don't know if he or she is online. Do we need to review that at all?
I don't see him online. He said that my answers answered all of his questions. So if you want to go over it, we can. But he was. I guess if he's not here, he must be okay with it, with my answers.
All right. So you gave very complete answers, so I think it was okay. So, but if he told you that he was fine with it, then we ought to go with it.
No, I think he was reassured that we were happy with the professional quality of the work.
Right. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Is there anyone else in the audience for this project? This is erosion and sedimentation control permit for was it 3 Lido Ave? Right. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, just on the back side of the property, shouldn't the evergreens go all the way to the, seems like an open space there. Why wouldn't they carry the trees right across to the left side?
The trees are already in existence. They're already there.
They're just not on the plan, is that it?
Well, I guess the trees that are there are on the plan. They just, Grace, can you chime in? Do they mostly only go behind the neighbor's house?
I think eventually when we have the opportunity to regrade that back area, the evergreen will continue down by that end.
Okay.
So right now, it's just, there's boulders there and it's just not graded, and that's what we're, asking to get the permit for, to finish that regrade. And once all of that is all leveled with the same as the existing property now, once all of that is regraded, then the finishing of the evergreens or arborvitae will be all the way down to the end.
Good. That's my answer.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that answer. Okay, so any other comments by the commission? If not, John or Eileen, you want to review the proposed erosion permit, please?
Sure. Where'd it go? Oh, no, go away. Okay, here we go. I hope everybody can see this. The proposed project is a demolition of an existing residential dwelling and the construction of a new dwelling with driveway and utilities. Minor grading to occur across the lot. Proposed land disturbance is 24,485 square feet. The applicant filed for and received a standard erosion and sedimentation control permit in January 2020 for land disturbance under 20,000 square feet. The limit of work excluded an area of approximately 4,800 square feet on the northern end of the lot. The limit of work was only 10 feet from the foundation, and it proved difficult for the machinery and earthwork to remain inside the established limit of work. In July, the applicant met with staff explaining they wished to grade across the remaining part of the site. They submitted an application for a full erosion and sedimentation control permit on August 3rd, 2020. The hearing was open on August 13th, and the commission meeting, and was continued to and closed at the September 10th, 2020 meeting. Going to administrative conditions, that we have referenced the proposed plan of land, and this actually has to be updated to show the newest, I think. I'll have to just check whether I had actually already updated those already. I think I had. And then a lot of these are fairly standard. Any changes to the above reference plans should be submitted to the Conservation Department for review. A lot of these, again, are pretty standard. We have the right to enter upon and inspect premises. A copy of this permit shall be provided to any person doing work on the site and shall be available on site at all times during construction. The applicant shall contact commission staff as needed to clarify the meaning of the permit. This is standard from all erosion control permits, but the construction has already started, and we allowed it to continue while the application was occurring. So some of these are kind of moot. Sediment barriers shall be installed and inspected. So I think we're going to ask them to beef up what is there, including at the front of the site. And then call me to come and inspect them. Disturb areas shall be restabilized and revegetated within 30 days. Erosion and runoff shall not be allowed into the streets of Burlington, and the project owner shall be responsible for cleanup of the street. Stockpiling only on the approved, only as shown on the approved plan. Cover stockpiled materials with a tarp. Dewatering isn't anticipated, but if dewatering is needed, a plan shall be submitted prior to the activity. Grading shall be completed in such a way so as not to direct additional runoff onto the property of others, and I think that is one thing that their neighbors were concerned about. So I think we've established that is hopefully not going to happen. Protection of catch basins on Lido Avenue. This is the stormwater management conditions as we described. Rooftop and driveway runoff for the new dwelling shall be infiltrated on site per the reference plan, with runoff from the front of the house and westerly driveway directed to a 500-gallon concrete dry well number 1, while the runoff from the back of the roof is directed to a 4-foot wide stone trench at the back of the lot. And runoff from the easterly driveway is directed to a trench grate, crushed stone trench, and a 500-gallon concrete dry well, which is well number 2 on the plan. And installation of these infiltration structures shall be witnessed by a PE. We would like them to submit an operation and maintenance plan for the stormwater management, and Grace, your engineer, will know what that means. And then the property owner shall be notified of maintenance requirements and must adhere to submitted approved operation and maintenance plan. And we are proposing a surety in the amount of $2,000 for this project.
Okay, any questions from the commission or the applicant? If you do have questions, Grace can always ask our administrator or our assistant administrator for any clarifications or explanations.
Thank you.
Anything else from the commission then? All right, I have one question. The approved plan doesn't show erosion controls in front. There was some stuff spilling off of the front of the site onto the roadway. So are you requesting either an updated plan, or are you going to specifically say erosion controls are required, additional erosion controls are required in front?
I'm sorry, I was muted. Yes, condition number 12 said, shall be installed per the reference plan, including across the frontage on Lido Avenue.
Okay, so you do have.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I'm all set. Good. All right, so should we have I guess we could have a motion to, was this a hearing, Eileen?
Yes, it is.
All right, could I have a motion to close the hearing on the sediment and erosion control permit hearing for 3 Lido?
So moved, Ed.
Second? Second?
Yeah.
Second, Don.
All right, John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Dale?
Sorry.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 0-0. The hearing's closed. Could I have a motion to adopt the findings and permit conditions for the erosion and sedimentation control permit for the project at 3 Lido Ave under Burlington Bylaw Article 14?
So moved.
Second.
Second, Bill.
John?
Yes.
I assume that was a yes, Gail, right? Bill? Jennifer?
I think Gail needs to mute.
Okay, Jennifer? I can't hear it.
Yes.
Okay, I think you said yes, Jennifer. Ed?
Yes.
Okay, chair votes yes, that's 6-0-0. Could I have a motion to request the posting of a performance surety under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 for the project at 3 Lido Ave in the amount of $2,000, the erosion and sedimentation control permit?
So moved, Ed.
Second?
Gail, second.
All right. Dawn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Okay, chair votes yes, 6-0-0. Okay, good luck with finishing your project, Grace.
Thank you very much. Eileen, I just wanted to ask what you were just reading off. Do I have a copy of that?
Yes, I sent you and your engineer a copy of that earlier today, and you will get a final paper copy next week of your actual permit.
All right.
In the mail, but you do have it. You have a draft copy.
Okay, very good. I'll look through my email messages then.
Okay.
right, thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
All right, good luck with your project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay, next, we're on item number 9, which has been continued until September 24th. Do we need a vote to continue this again, John or Eileen, on Redmond Street?
Yes, you could probably do all three at once, though.
All right, could I have a motion to continue the Redmond Street roadway? And item number 9, 4 Redmond Street, single-family dwelling, item number 10. 5 Redmond Street, single-family dwelling, item number 11, until September 24th meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved, Don.
Second.
Gail?
All right, John, how do you vote?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Indra? Oh, Indra's not here. Bill?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Those 3 items on the agenda are continued by a vote of 6-0 to September 24th. Okay, administrative issues, planning board comments, Eileen or John?
I have nothing.
Okay, subcommittee and staff reports or updates, anything?
No.
All right, upcoming meeting, September 24th, the following one is October 8th. Other business. Do we have a request for extension? McIntyre?
Not on this agenda. We received it. It'll be on the next meeting.
Okay, fine. Any other business? Okay,
Nope.
could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved. Ed.
So moved. Second, Gail?
All right. So, Dawn, how do you vote on adjournment?
Yes.
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
All right, I thought you wanted to hang around and talk, Bill, for a while.
No, thank you.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Ed?
Yeah.
Chair votes yes. That's 6-0 in favor of adjournment. You folks have a very good evening.
You too.